Ding, 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 ding. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to 22 and You. And I know it's not the year 2022 anymore, but it is the 22nd of the month. So I am Neil Molokai Mystic with my sidekick over here.
Nick with my angels.
And today's topic is about the journey of friendship. Last month we did a talk on Two Smiles, One Heart, and we were really sharing with you our personal friendship. So now it's about friendship in general. Hey, 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 Kate. Thanks for jumping in. We are talking about the journey of friendship. And friendship can be a very sensitive place to be in. You know, it's that work of the heart. And I always say the heart is a very sensitive place to work. So today's topic is really going to be focused on what happens when you have such a bond with someone and you drift apart, or your senses are telling you that there are secrets. You know, you can pick up something's changed, something's shifted. Somebody that you've been very close to have has all of a sudden started taking a little bit of a distance from you for some reason, you know, or you recognize yourself that you might need to feel like you need to take a little bit of steps back, a little bit of distance from this. And so we're really referring to how do we step into that journey of friendship? Well, hi, Janet. Hello,
Hi,
Elijah.
Janet.
I've met Elijah one time. We were on a video chat with Janet. I was on a video chat with Janet, and her son was there. So, hi, Elijah. Nice to know you're watching. Yeah, with ease and grace, you know, Kate, because when you really think about it, when our hearts connect with someone, um, even though we will always have a special place for them in our hearts, we also need to honor ourselves and others in their personal journey and in our own personal journey, you know? So, how do we go about doing that? And how do we honor the emotions that we go through in seeing the higher perspective of a situation when it comes to relationships that feel like maybe we're not meant to stay that close of a connection, you know? Um, so, Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm someone who struggles a lot with that. And the reason is because I don't know how to explain it exactly better than to tell you how I am as a friend first. Like I will start to say that I am my circle of friends is huge and at the same time very tight. And what I mean by that is that I consider everyone who comes into my life as a friend. And I love them. And like I can tell you about if you mention someone I've met only one time, I say, oh, she's my friend, and I mean it from the heart because I can, it just take one hello for me to form a bond with a person and to feel the love in that bond. So I bond with someone very easily in a way, and I feel this connection. But when I feel this connection with the person, on another hand, I'm not the kind who take initiatives. So I am the friend at a distance. What I mean by that is that I'm not the person who will reach out and say, hey, how are you? Every now and then, or every week, I don't pick up the phone and call someone, but I'm always available. I always think of the person. I always send them love, but I don't initiate contact. So this is my big circle. I do. love them, think of them, but I'm a loner. Like I like my loneliness. I enjoy my loneliness. However, I have a very tight circle, and usually it's two, rarely three people. And these people, I really get very close with them. And I call them like my really, really, really close friends. And these people, I do initiate contact. I feel the need to even contact them every single day, talk to them every single day, share with them every single detail of my day, even if I just read a joke that I found funny, I need to share this joke. So there is like two, I wouldn't say two level, but it's like I have my big circle of friends and I have one or two people who are, let's say, maybe a bit different for me. So yeah, and I struggled because of that, because the big circle of friends, when they meet me, they see me as, oh, cool, she's a good friend because I'm authentic when I show them how much I care. But then when I do not contact them, they think that I don't care about them because, oh, you never contact, you never reach out, you never ask about me. It's not my nature. It's just not my nature to reach out and talk to you. This is not who I am, but if you need me, you'll always find me. I'll never close the door. So, yeah, I mean, this is how I am as a friend. But for the others where I am really close, and this is, for example, my relationship with you, Neil, I need to reach out to you every day because you become like part of my day, part of who I am. It's like the bond is so close that I cannot see myself functioning without reaching out to you. And this, on another hand, created a lot of problems in my life when the other person didn't, um, I wouldn't say respond the same way, but didn't didn't, wasn't, let's say, honest, or made me feel that it was okay, or that they felt the same, but it wasn't honest. So at a certain point, they were like, hey, oh, that's too much, you know. But like, just tell me, and I'll step back. Or
Okay,
I
am I
don't know.
am I hearing you correctly when you say, okay, like with me, our friendship together,
Mhm.
we contact each other every single day.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a. I mean, if I don't hear from you or you don't hear from me, it's like we're dropping a heart in the comment, and that's our signal. Yo, I'm thinking of you. Okay,
yeah,
you're in
yeah,
my heart space right now. What's going on? Are you okay? You know. So this is just something that you and I we have built. And I listen to you, and you're saying you don't reach out and you don't initiate the contact. Um, and I saw that when our relationship was just building, that journey of that just building. And although I could feel the energy of you wanting to get to know me more, I'm very as needed. If it's in the moment and I know I need to share something with this particular person, you know I'm there. If it's something that is very general and I'm like, okay, I'm honoring this person's journey, it's a very short response. So if you throw at me short responses and I'm picking up the energy that you're perfectly capable of handling your day, you
yeah.
don't need me. I'm a as needed friend. you
Mhm.
know So I'm not one like with you. When you connect with someone new and you bring them into that small circle that you have, um, it's it's a deep connection where it's that sharing of your soul, you know, on both sides. You're listening and you're sharing. There is this this is why I say you're my confidant, because I know I can use you as a sounding board, but I can also use you as a mentor. I can use you as my crying pillow and my strength at the same time. And it's like everything wrapped up into one with you. And this is kind of the bond that we treasure in our relationship. And but yet there are friendships out there that I am very much an in the moment as needed. I do my job and I honor their journey. And I don't become attached to that constant communication. I have friends that um, I go way back with, you know, what we would call in Hawaii Hanabata age, you know, where you're running around, your nose is got snot coming out and you don't care. That's how young you are, you know. So, I mean, I've got friends that I go way back with, and we can not speak to each other for 6 months, and then get on a call, and it's like we never skipped a beat, you know. And am I feeling the lack of their relationship in between? No, no. This is the type of friends that I consider to be in my tight circle. So your tight circle is a very much a daily event,
Yeah.
whereas my tight circle, excluding you because you're like my confidant, so I need you every day. But in general, for me, my tight circle is a very much honoring their journey. I'm there as needed. Um, they're there as needed, and I never feel the lack in between. If you are my friend, I have that heart connection. I do not underestimate that heart connection, no matter if we go astray for a while or we come back, whatever it is. And uh, if a friend takes a totally separate journey because of life circumstances, I'm okay with that. I'm the type that is like, all right, good for you. Go for it. You know, you're going to take a completely, you can't handle my energy anymore. That's all good. I'm still going to be me. You be you. Do you? I'll send you love and light, you know, and go for it. So there's a complete uh, respect. And this is the way I take it. Now, they might not take it that way. They might look at me like, yeah, you just were good with it and didn't even try to put it back together. But if it's meant to be together, it will be together. You know, if it's meant to be apart, it's meant to be apart. And I'm good with that, you know?
I I love what uh, Kate said. Love bond never dies.
Absolutely.
Actually, I totally agree, Kate. I totally agree with you. And but the thing is, although I agree 100% with you, if one of my big circle of friends decides suddenly to cut me off, like I would be very sad and I would try my best to find out why and to try and change the situation. I would try my best. And if it works, I would be very happy. If it doesn't work, then although it will make me sad, I'll move on. However, if one of the one or two person that I hold on to so close, like what like I said, I have always one or two person who are really close. I am devastated when they decide to step away. And I have experienced this repeatedly. It's like a cycle that has been happening in my life over and over again. For some reason, it has been happening over and over and over again. So I am devastated, although I trust and believe that love bonds never die, at least from my side. And I want to trust and believe that on the other side, and what I mean by the other side, like the other person still has the same love for me. Now, the question is if they could step back and leave, and for example, today actually, I have an urgent need for one of my friends who I was so close to her. She was like a daughter to me. And 12 years ago, 11 years ago, she decided to step back. And her stepping back like took me to even wanting to end my life. It was that bad for me. And today I received an email that made me like need her in my life because I need from her to be a witness uh, in a court because there are stuff only her has witnessed and I need her in court. And I'm like, what if I reach out? Will she answer? If I reach out and ask her, like, you're the only witness, you're the only one who can protect me and help me, would you do it? If love never dies, she should say yes. But was there love? If there was love at the base, would she have left? So it's these questions that I would like to discuss in the show today. So,
Interesting, because you know, especially when someone leaves and you in your own mind feel that, well, this must be the reason. This has to be the trigger that made them open the door
mhm,
to walk out. And in reality, a lot of times there are totally different things going on. um, I'm just going to say an example, like from my ex relationship, when my previous marriage. um, my husband at the time was very good at coming in and creating a reason to leave. You know, it didn't matter what it was. But there would be something that he could utilize to spark um, an argument or whatever, and then he would use that as a reason to leave. When in reality, he had already had this in his mind because he had a date. You know what I mean? So he had to come in, create this opportunity to make that grand exit.
mhm,
So what I'm saying in this is that sometimes a situation is presented and the person left behind feels like that must be the reason. Boy, that was a really small reason. It wasn't that important that would make them just disappear from my life, you know? So, especially when it's something small like that, um, you have to dig a little deeper. They're doing something in their journey, they're working on something in their journey. And the universe needed to create a scenario for you not to be exposed to their personal journey and what they're working on because it's not meant for you in the moment. Now, whether or not these two individuals circle around and come back together is remains to be seen. But whatever caused that person to walk through that door and walk out, be it that exact situation that occurred or something that was manifesting, and this was just part of that journey, you know, this was just something that allowed them to open that door,
Yeah.
you know. But we are left with, okay, so it was a dirty doorknob, you know. It was a small thing that most people should be able to work out, you know. But should and meant to are two different things,
Yeah.
you know. And so when we look at the what is the universe teaching me in the moment, sometimes what is teaching you is to let the other person learn their lessons and you move on. Okay. Because what it's teaching you is that this is not the energy you're meant to be in the moment for your highest and greatest good. Now, again, whether or not as these two individuals evolve and grow and expand, they come back around because there is this life force energy as a cycle going in that spiral. You come back around, but you can either appreciate each other individually, or you've grown so much individually that when you reconnect, you're even stronger. Or it could be that in that individual strength, you realize you're not meant to walk the same path together again. But you're okay with it because you've journeyed through those lessons that you've taken. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think some people will think that, oh, Janelle can be so cold hearted. No, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when somebody leaves me because you honor that feeling of love. But then you look at the higher perspective of that love, which means honoring the divine in each individual. And if their divine journey is meant to take them somewhere else, then I send them off with my blessings. You know, I don't look at what did I do wrong? How could I have held on to them more? Was it something that I said, you know, beating myself up behind it is not going to change the fact that they have their own personal journey.
Mhm.
They have lessons that they need to learn as well as I have lessons that I need to learn. Sometimes the lesson is just that they're not the right energy for you in the moment, you know.
That's what I'm learning now. That's what I'm learning. But before that, it was always, what did I do? Yeah.
But love, Kate, you're so on point. Once you love, you cannot unlove. It's not possible. Okay. You can dislike certain attitudes, actions, words, you know, but the love stands. The love will always stand. And you cannot hurt by losing someone in your journey to their own path if you never loved in the first place. And so you honor that love, you know, whether that person has transitioned or whether that person has gotten up and walked away. They're taking their own journey. And when you hurt and you hurt bad, you know you love. You love deep. And so what do you do with that pain? You transmute it into love and light for the lessons that they're learning and the lessons that you're learning. You honor yourself in that pain and feel that pain and know that this is how much I love this person, whether they have transitioned or walked away. You honor that pain because it's saying, I love you. But don't forget that you includes yourself. Mhm. What is it that I need in this moment to help me not only give them love and light, but myself love and light? Mhm. You will always, always love that person. But in doing that, you also need to honor their journey. Trust that this particular episode in your life happened for a reason. You hold on to the tools, you hold on to the joy. There's a situation that someone that I really care about had gone through. She had a really, really rough life. And then everything flipped around and everything became beautiful, and she laughed and she had all of this joy and abundance. And then all of a sudden, the person that was in her life that helped her create and find her own light left. Boom, gone. And then she resented all of that joy. It was like tasting this beautiful cake, and then somebody just takes it away from you. You get to taste it, you know, and then it's gone. And it's almost like you want to just slam that door to love shut. But I say, no, no. You, if this person chose to walk out of your life, you hold on to that joy. You hold on to that light. Don't give that grace, those blessings, don't throw them in the mud. Don't give that other person that chose to make this walk away, don't give them the power to destroy your joy. You hold on to that. That's your joy. Those are your memories. That's your empowerment. You know, it doesn't make what you experienced in the past less joyful. It's still yours. You know, it brought out a light in you, and that is part of your toolbox. You know, but you don't resent the other person if you really love that person. If you really do love that person, you will find it in your heart, digging through the pain, realizing that the pain is it is the reflection of the love. You cannot hurt if you don't love. If a complete stranger criticizes me, I don't feel nothing. If somebody who I love, my husband says something to me, it's going to hurt. Why is it going to hurt? Because I love, because this person means something to me, you know. So anytime you hurt because someone has stepped away, remember that that hurt is a reflection of the love. And the deeper you hurt, the more you love. And what are we meant to do with love? We're meant to honor it. We're meant to share that love and light, transmute that pain into positivity, you know, because it's there for a reason. You know, it's there to tell you, yes, put passion, put intensity into your prayers and your intentions. You know, this is why we feel the way we do for others. This is why we connect to others, is so that we can feel that pain. People think pain is a negative, pain is a positive. When you feel that pain, don't your prayers become passionate? Don't you get more determined? You know, there is an intensity around pain that if we can flip it into that positive that it's meant to be, then we're looking at pain as a blessing. You know? It helps us remember when someone transitioned, that depth of our pain, of our loss, of our sorrow. What does it do? It helps us appreciate every small memory, you know, the way the person sneezed and their head went down so big, and little things like that that just you don't think about in a normal day, but just those little things that eventually you'll have more smiles in your heart for instead of tears on your cheeks. You know? So I
What
hope that.
about, Neil? What about when there is a lack of communication? What I mean by lack, no, not a lack, like a miscommunication,
Hmm.
and they go separate ways because of this. Is it a
Yeah.
lack of love or
Mm.
something
No,
else?
it's not a lack of love. That's the universe telling you that you're expanding and this person's expanding in their own way, and you guys are not compatibly communicating. You know, it's not that you or one person may have said something that hurt the other person's feelings. It's that we didn't hear where you're at in the moment. Okay. Some person like me, I'm good at If I want to hurt some, if I want to hurt you, because I do have a temper, I can hit below the belt in a hot second, and you won't even know what happened to you. Okay, and it will come out so fast. Now, the words that I use to hit below the belt are not the truth of the root of what I'm trying to get across. Okay, so the truth of the root of what I'm trying to get across might be something of, I am so frustrated right now, I just need you to shut up. But it comes out hitting below the belt so that the person shuts up in a way of, what the frick just happened? But it gives them enough pause so I can get a break, you know? So sometimes when it's uh, due to miscommunication, it's really saying that I've got something going on in my life that I can't hear you where you're at right now. And I need to step away. So that miscommunication just gave me the key to unlock this door because I need to step outside, you know? Not necessarily do they need to step outside, get in their car, and drive across the country, you know, which some do. But I need to step outside, you know. There, when you can learn, then when you can see the signs that someone is not really understanding what you're saying while you're communicating, and we've done this before, where you have it in your mind that you understand what I'm saying to you, and then I see you are not getting it. You are not on the same playing field that I'm trying to get you on. And I'm like, okay, we need to discontinue this conversation because I'm not in the energy to force you to understand something that you are not in the energy of receiving. You know, you're seeing this, you think you understand it. So why would I try to shift it in that moment? So when there's miscommunication, it usually means that the root cause is not being seen by both sides at the same time.
Mm.
And that there is a need to have that sacred pause so that one, the other person can replay it. Is this really what I'm hearing? How can I figure out what it is that they're really trying to tell me? And the other person can say, okay, how can I express this in a way that the other person can hear me? And it could just be
Yeah.
we need to be in a different time, in a different energy to be open to it. If the separation is meant to take place, it's usually not because of that one thing. It's usually because that miscommunication stemmed from a deeper root. And that deeper root meant this person is meant to grow over here and not necessarily in your fertilizer or vice versa. I hope that it
Now,
wasn't too confusing.
I remember when I was going through this situation, like I said, 11 years ago, I I was also living a really bad situation in my life, and she was the only one who knew about it, who was helping me, and so I really needed her. And when this happened, and I couldn't reach out to her, like she blocked me, I couldn't text her, I couldn't talk to her, and I was so desperate needing her and not understanding what's happening. I was also desperately wanting someone, whoever, someone to interfere because she wasn't listening to me. And whatever I tried to say when I managed to get in touch with her, she wasn't ready to listen to me. So I was desperate to find a third party to interfere and talk to her and try to understand so that they can explain to me what's going on, or to interfere and tell her like, what are you doing, you know? So when is it okay for a third party to interfere?
Well, Sometimes it's not even okay for the first party to interfere. Um, and this is where I have to come back to, where does your joy come from? Where does your confidence come from? And this sometimes the lessons of people leaving us in our life is all about our growth. It's not even about their growth. They served their purpose and now they're going on with their life, and it's time for us to grow. I need to bring in my own joy. I need to build my own confidence. I need to walk my own journey. I need to embrace my own light, you know. And sometimes we can't see our own light until we're stuck in the darkness, alone, going within. Why? You know. Um, and so there are times when you're not even meant to be the one that interferes or interacts with that person.
Yeah.
You're meant to be in it yourself, to realize where your true joy comes from. It's not from others, it's not from an external source. You'll never be happy if you constantly depend on others for that happiness. You'll never be confident if you're constantly depending on someone else for their praise, you know because then you also give them the power to knock you down. You also give them the power to make you miserable. Don't give your power away. So sometimes the lessons between a separation and friendship could very well mean it's time for you to expand within yourself. You know. So in regards to uh, a, a friendship going amiss because of a misunderstanding, and who and when should they have a third party step in, it's a very, very delicate dance with that. Okay. For one, that third party has to have a partnership in that relationship in the first place. Unless you're going to a counselor or a mediator or someone who's professionally there to say, this and this and that. Okay. So, unless it is somebody in a professional field and you're just talking about friends kind of going around the garden to talk to somebody behind the rose bush because you're getting poked with the thorns, you want to have someone who has a personal understanding of the dynamics of both sides, someone that can have an understanding of both your feelings and the other person's feelings and respect both sides. And when they do so, it's not about uh, how you feel or how they feel, how the other person involved in it feels. It's from the perspective of that third party, so that it's not finger pointing. You know, what they're doing is they're allowing the both parties to have a venting session, not a complaint, not a judgment, not an accusation session, just a session for them to get out, and so that not necessarily for the third party to hear the words, but for themselves to hear the words so that they can replay things. This is not a third party that's going to run around and gossip. This is a confidant. This is someone that both parties, and this is why it's so hard to get that third party involved, because the world the way it is, it's like, oh, you got a juicy story and you go tell X, Y, and Z. You know, this is someone who will listen with ears connected to a heart and not a mouth. Okay. So this third party, if they really wanted to help, they would tune into their listening skills and allow both other people to vent. Not necessarily so that this third party can fix it, but so that each person can hear what it is that they understand about this current
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're saying it and you're hearing it, you figure it out yourself and you start getting clarity. And then you make the decision to reconnect to that other person.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But you don't want someone that has ears connected to the mouth, because that could do more damage than good.
Mm. Yeah. Very interesting subject. Like I said, because it has always been my biggest fear, the fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, my biggest issue. And somehow, because it's my biggest fear, it's also my biggest lesson. So it's the cycle that comes again and again. And so
See,
it's
the
a
good thing
subject
about being a
very,
the good thing about being your own best friend is you're not going to abandon yourself.
who knows?
I know I can only put up with so much of me myself. Okay? So okay, so now let's shift it a little bit. And um, how can you distinguish the difference between someone who is your friend because you love
Yeah.
in the moment, okay, whereas me, my guide's like nope, okay, it's like I get that, nope, this is an associate, but this is not your friend, you
Mhm.
know. So how can you with the heart that you have, you got the wings, I got the horns, you know, how can you distinguish between someone who is taking advantage of you for um, their own purpose, fulfillment, status, finances, whatever, for their own agenda,
Yeah.
opposed to someone that um, is truly trying to be there for you?
Um, I have had a lot of issues in this regards, and you know some of them. People who are my friends and trying even to get closer and closer to me, and we know what they wanted, you know. Um, the way I look at it is if I can give them what they want, even if I know that their love had a different purpose, let's say, or their friendship had a different purpose, it wasn't based on love, it was based on what I want or what I need. If what they need I can offer, I was offering it. I was, let's say, playing the game. Why I was playing the game? Because this is in my nature. I am a giving person, and if what they need I can give, I was giving it. Even though internally I knew that the friendship wasn't a friendship. Um, like when someone asks you, how are you doing? And then before I can even say one word to answer the question, they would jump into what they want. And it's not an accident, it's a repetitive daily thing. Like you get the message somehow. I was never answering or trying to answer or whatever, you know. So I was giving. I was giving because I could, until it got to a point where giving, I mean, depends on the person, you know, until it gets to a point where giving is draining me energetically and is doing harm to the person, not only to me. When what I'm giving them is not good for them, this is where I set my boundaries. So, as much as what I was giving was somehow serving, I was giving, although I knew that their intention towards me as a person wasn't what they were saying. But when I got to the point where what they were taking from me was hurting them more than serving them, I stopped. And this is on different persons, different levels. So it happens a lot. And this is how I react to it. So I act naive, as if I don't get it, I don't see it, I don't understand it, and I keep giving until what I'm giving is what, until I realize that what I'm giving is not serving anymore.
Interesting. Interesting. And it really comes down to not them taking. It's you choosing to give.
Yeah,
You having that choice in
yeah,
your awareness that this is not beneficial to myself, but this person
needs it.
needs it.
Mhm.
But when it's not, it's no longer a need for their highest and greatest good, and it's just a want.
When
But
it
it,
becomes an addiction somehow.
yeah, it becomes an addiction, you know. Um, but when you become in the awareness that not only is this not serving a higher good, but it does not serve myself as well or the other person, then you step out of that energy.
Yeah,
You know? So there is a healthy boundary that you have. That yours is a little more flexible than mine. So don't beat yourself up on that. It's just you know what that flexibility is. It's not like you're walking in with it with blinders.
yeah.
You know,
No,
it's
and since the first encounter with the person, I know
yeah,
if the intentions of the person are real towards me as a friend, or are intentions of I want
right.
from you.
Yeah. And
So I know.
I tend to look at, there was a situation where someone, and I discussed it with you as well, where someone was actually extended a certain invitation to me. And I was like, this person has ulterior motives. But looking at the bigger picture, should I subject myself for this due to the fact of what that bigger picture might evolve into for more people? You know what I mean? Now, by me understanding that, yes, this person has an ulterior motive, but that could be the doorway to a larger amount of people benefiting.
Yeah,
So it is like weighing this out.
yeah,
What is the highest and greatest good in this moment? Because it's not like we don't all have the ability to see whether or not someone has an ulterior motive. Um, the question is, are we willing to be in that awareness? Because sometimes, like with, we'll just say with light workers, with people with spiritual businesses, our hearts want to see that these people, all light workers, are sincere in what they offer, you know, but that's not always the case. Some light workers are shining, but they're still, their foundation is in the mud. It's not on solid rock yet. So allow that person to evolve and to shine in their own way, and be in the awareness of seeing that lighthouse for the structure that it really is, and whether or not this structure can save you, or are they still evolving and you are in a different energy. I think sometimes we as people can get so down we don't want to share because we don't want to share our own stress and bring others down. This is true. And this is why, remember who you speak to. You speak to those that you can vent to, and it doesn't bring the energy down. Why? Because the person that you're speaking to, with the ears connected to the heart instead of the mouth, will listen to you the whole time, holding sacred space for you and transmuting that, what you are going through, into love and light, into strength instead of stress. So be aware of who you find as your confidant, because it's so important to have that in your life, but not the ones connected with the mouth, the ear connected to the heart. Right? So look for this type of connection with someone, because then you're not gossiping, you're not complaining, you're not putting negative energy out there for the universe. What you're doing is you are releasing to someone who is holding sacred space and can help you transmute that into love and light, to understanding, into clarity. Right, Nick?
absolutely. 100%.
So when you find the right person in your life to have that relationship with, it makes such a difference. You know?
Somehow I want to answer Janet's comment. and yours by giving an example about something I went through quite recently. I mean, in the last 2, 3 years, let's say. And I was going through one of these situation and a broken friendship, and if I talk to someone about what was going on, and like Kate said earlier, love never dies. And when I love for real, like my love never dies. I love deep. And even if you can bring me the proof that you want that the person doesn't love me or never loved me, it doesn't make me stop loving the person. There's no way. Anyways, like I was going through this broken friendship and I was venting, I could vent to people or wherever in a group, in a community, and saying, well, I'm going through this, and my friend got me out of her life. And if someone said or commented, like, well, she doesn't deserve you, or that's so unfair, that's so mean, oh, don't do that to me. Treating my friend to be mean, I mean, people thought they were supporting me by saying that my friend was mean for making me cry or for blocking me or for making me. No, I love her. Don't do that,
Right.
you know? And what Neil did, it was the opposite. It was honoring the love that I have for my friend. So I could vent and say, I'm hurting because of this. And what she was focusing on was, oh my God, how much you love her, you know? And this is what was lifting me up. So, to answer to Janet, you're saying not to bring others down. When you are talking to someone who will pick on the love and on the conversation and show you that what you are expressing comes from love, even the pain comes from love, you're not bringing anyone down. You're lifting everyone up. So that is how I got through it, by talking to Need. So,
Yeah, I because that's my truth. I remember that scenario with you, and I remember, you know, it made such a difference to you in how I responded to your pain. You know, because there are only situations and lessons and events, but they're all divine. They're all divine. It's part of the plan. And if we can look at the higher perspective, we can get through these situations with respect to ourselves and to the person that we love. Because even if in the moment you want to say, I hate this person for doing this, you may dislike the action, you may dislike the word, but you love the person.
oh yeah,
You can't unlove. You can feel pain and express it in such a negative energy, but it is still love. It just feels really crappy in the moment, you know? So once you can polish it up and really sit with it and realize this other person, their actions, their words, these events, you know, they are serving a deeper purpose that I may not be able to see in the moment, but I trust. I trust that there is a higher purpose, you know, and I may not see them ever again, or I might see them in the next couple of days, you know. And what's really interesting is when you have a friend that they've said something or done something and you're really, really hurt by it. You chose to be hurt by it. Okay, mind you, they didn't do anything to you. You
Yeah.
did it to yourself. You chose to look at the situation as a very painful event and you held on to this. This is what we do. This is our choice. Nobody can do anything to you. You choose to respond to it the way you choose to respond to it. Okay. Somebody who can, I don't know, can say something, do something. I don't care. Someone I love does something or do something and it hurts. I made the choice. I made the choice to feel that pain, to experience that journey of pain, you know. So it has to do with your own choices and how you look at it, how you're going to respond to it. Are you going to respond to it in honoring both your journey and the other person's journey? Or are you going to respond to it in a reaction mode of your painful experience, looking at the negative energy of that pain opposed to the depth of love that it really stems
Mm.
from? You know, so it's our choice on how we experience different situations, even when it means saying goodbye to people. You know, if we can say goodbye to someone and we can say goodbye, good luck, and mean it, then you are on your own personal strength and confidence in life.
Yeah.
If you're going to say goodbye to somebody and say good riddance, you know, I hope you get what you deserve in a negative energy instead of I hope you get what you deserve in a positive energy. There's a big difference there, and it's your choice. You know, it's your choice on how you respond.
Someone told me today about somebody else. Told me, he said I'm stupid. And I asked this person, did he say it just like that? You're stupid? No, but what he said sounded like I said, you understand, I'm stupid.
Mhm.
If he didn't say these words, man, he didn't say it. This is how you wanted to understand the words
It's
he
how
said.
you are responding to the energy of his
Yeah,
word.
because the tone was as if you took it that way. It doesn't mean that it was said. You like I the same sentence can be understood 100 ways.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that has happened,
100
especially
ways.
especially with the texts and chats and oh, yeah, let's get our commas, periods, and explanation points correctly. And please don't capitalize your messages to me because I you ever feel that energy of someone trying to communicate? Communication, guys, is such a big deal. If you don't understand something, say it. You know, don't let your pride get in the way of your relationship with someone. If you don't understand something, say it. Could you please explain it to me? Because this is what I'm hearing, and this doesn't feel right. Doesn't resonate with me. You know, say what you are understanding. You know, it really does help prevent those miscommunications. You
Yeah.
know? But okay, so we are coming down to the last minute and a half of our show. Um, but I really would like to share that love never dies, you guys. And it sometimes it's very exciting and expansive and comforting, and other times it's rough around the edges and it has sharp points, but it's still love. You know? And if we can seek out the higher perspective in each relationship, whether it's your best friend or your outer circle, and trust that when people step away, it serves a divine purpose. And when people step in, it serves a divine purpose. And honoring the divine in yourself and in others helps you to walk through it easier, with more grace, and retain the blessings. And never give your power away to someone that has left your life to where you feel like every moment of joy and expansion that you experienced in that relationship is now tarnished, because it's not, unless you tarnish it. You can throw it all in the mud, but I'm telling you, one of these days you're going to be shining it up because it's yours. It's part of what helped you expand and grow. So it's easier if we can take the time in the moment to see the blessings. You know. Nikki, is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to thank everyone for being with us today. Although we didn't announce the show, I just want to say that this is a subject that is very dear to my heart because, like I said, it's my biggest struggle and fear. And I learned so much from you in this regards, Neil. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for you because you taught me so much in this regard. So I wanted this subject so that everyone can learn from you what I have learned, so that if anyone is struggling with relationships, friendship, they can learn what I learned and stop hurting because I don't hurt anymore. And
Mm,
I feel like this cycle that were repetitive in my life, I feel like I reached the end of it because I learned to look, I learned to build a relationship with myself first before I rely on others. And this I learned it from you. So,
that's beautiful. Thank you. I'm so humbled. And thank you for allowing me to be your confidant, as you are with me. It's highly appreciated. And I love you dearly. Um, I love you mostest.
are you most
um, so next month we're looking at a very deeper subject. Okay, so this 23 and Me theme is really going to be stepping in on our monthly shows. And next month, what came to me was in regards to how are we going to find the harmony of integrating and utilizing the tools from all of the expansion that we had for 2022, because this year is really a slow down and go inward, you know, year. And you guys are going to find that things are going to pop up. Now, remember to respond and not react, because there's going to be things coming up this year that you're really going to be utilizing what you absorbed last year. So next month's one is going to be another really interesting. So tune in on the 22nd, and we'll do an event page. Let you guys know.
Yeah.
Remind you guys. Yeah. So okay, guys, tune in to Amy KK's today, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amy KK on Becoming You, Beautiful Whispers. Cindy Metz is going to be her guest on that. And we will see you again on the 24th, which is Tuesday. All right. So, what do I say, guys? We
Shine brighter.
together. Big hug, everyone. Thank you all for being in our lives, being a part of our journey, and being our family. So, you guys are more than friends to me. So, love you all.
Love you all.
Aloha, everybody.